Hello everyone. We are studying the volumetric analysis from the paper first of SY BSc Chemistry. So in the previous lecture we have started the types of the titrations. So there are 4 types of the titration or titrimetric analysis, or it is also called as the volumetric analysis. So in this case, we are started the first type. It is the neutralization titration, or it is also called as the acid base titration or the neutralization reactions, because there is reaction occur between acid and base and neutralization takes place at the end point or the equivalent point. Now in this case there are 4 types are given in the neutralization titrations. First is the titration between the strong acid and strong base. Second is the strong acid, weak base. Third is the strong base and weak acid. And fourth one is the weak acid and the weak base. So generally these 4 types of the titration are possible or are studied under the neutralization titration. Now let us start with the first type of the neutralization titration. So what we are going to study in this case, we are going to titrate the strong acid with the strong base, and in that titration we are going to study what is the change in the graph of the titration during the process of addition of the base to acid. So what type of indicator can be used as the suitable indicator, and what type of the indicator will be proves the best indicator for the titration, and what are the changes during the titration which can be shown in the graph, what are the changes in the pH, and further the different concentration of this mixture can be calculated at the different pH, or H plus ion concentration or acidity can be calculated at the different pH. Now let us start with the titration of strong acid and strong base. We know that the example of the strong acid and base, it is HCl and NaOH. So we are going to consider the titration of the strong base like NaOH with the strong acid like HCl. So in this titration we know that the substance whose concentration is to be determined, or generally acid is always taken in the conical flask and base is always generally taken in the burette. But whenever we want to calculate or we want to determine the concentration of the base, then we can fill the burette with the acid and titrate it against the base taken in the conical flask. Now let us consider that your burette is filled with the standard solution NaOH, which is 0.1 molar or 0.1 normal. So burette is filled with the 0.1 molar and normal is same for NaOH because molecular weight and equivalent weight are same, that is 40. So same concentration is observed for the 0.1 and 0.1 molar and 0.1 normal solution of NaOH. So burette is filled with, in titration burette is filled with the 0.1 molar NaOH, and in conical flask nearly 10 ml of 0.1 molar approximately HCl is taken, whose concentration is to be determined. We are going to determine the concentration of HCl. So now in this type of the reaction we are adding the NaOH slowly from the burette dropwise to the solution of HCl. So at the start what happens, the conical flask contain 10 ml of the 0.1 molar HCl. So solution is completely acidic, pH is acidic, that is below 7, and very much acidic pH is there. And when we add the NaOH dropwise, so slowly what happens, there is neutralization reaction between the acid and base takes place. So acid will get neutralized slowly and pH will rises slowly, because acidic pH it is less, it will start from the value 1. So after addition of NaOH in ml, what happens? Slowly acid will get neutralized. So pH will goes on increasing 1, 2, 3 and so on up to the value 7. So at the point of the 7, end point arrives, or the equivalent point of the titration arrives, at which the acid will completely neutralizes the base. And above the 7 pH, what happens? The concentration of the base will get increased slowly. So important is the end point of the titration, and the reading of the end point can be noted, and accordingly after calculation from N1V1 equals to N2V2, we can determine the normality of the acid. So already we have seen that with the example. Now let us start the study of the titration curve during this titration. So what happens at the start? pH is nearly 1. So we can see here graph is plotted against pH versus the ml of the 0.1 molar NaOH added. So in this case the pH is shown as 1, 2, 3 and so on up to 12 value. So we know that the pH goes on increasing, because acidic pH will get neutralized slowly. Now here ml of the NaOH is added. This goes on increasing for 5 ml, 10 ml slowly NaOH. So what change occurs during the titration? On the pH value. It is shown from this graph. Now we can see here the pH at the start, it is 1, nearly 1. So here pH is 1, and when we are adding the NaOH, so slowly there is not much increases observed in the pH value. There is not much increase, very slight increase is there. It is linear graph is obtained. So after some time, some value of the NaOH up to, it is given up to 24.5. So here nearly up to this value, there is no sudden change or much change is observed. There is no much change is observed in the pH value up to 24.5 value. 24.5 ml. So after that what happens? Nearly from 24.8 to 24.95, very small range is there. So between this range what happens? There is sudden increase in the pH is observed. So there is linear increase in the pH is observed, straight vertical line, this one. So this is between the value 24.8 to the 24.95. Now here the graph is get changed. So this value, it is the end point of the titration, where base completely neutralizes the acid, and the pH range for this equivalent point is given. So this is the equivalence point of the titration shown by the graph, linear change. So pH will get sudden increase. So it is given within the range 3 to 10 pH values. Now after that what happens? Nearly up to from the 24.95 to 25.2, there is linear change is observed in this titration, and after that very small value, nearly 25.05 or 25.15 here. So there is slight bend in the graph or the curve is obtained. There is slight bends, and now it bends downwards, this one, it bends downwards. So up to this value there is change in the pH is observed. Now let us consider the transition range at the equivalence point or the end point of titration. It is nearly 3 to 10 pH units. Now within this we have placed this type of the box in graphical manner. We have placed this box. These are nothing but the range or the transition range given for the corresponding indicator. So on this line, whatever pH transition range of the pH which is given for the indicator, these all indicators will comes under this pH range of the equivalence point. So all these indicator can be used for the titration, but they are the suitable indicator. So all this indicator will get will be suitable for this titration, but so they are called as the suitable indicator. We can see here phenolphthalein having range endpoint 3 to 10 pH unit, bromothiamol blue, methyl red and methyl orange. So all these indicator having the transition range within the endpoint of this pH unit 3 to 10 value, they are act as the suitable indicator for this titration. But if we want to select the best indicator for this titration, so we have to consider the exact pH value at the equivalence point. This is the range. So exact pH is nearly 7 at the equivalence point. So at 7 pH what happens? Complete neutralization takes place, that is the exact new end point of this titration. So if we consider this pH value, we have to find the indicator which having the transition range near to 7. So if we consider this methyl orange, it is very much away from this range 3.1 to 4.4. Methyl red, again it is different than the 7. Bromothiamol blue 6 to 7.6, it is somewhat near but not exactly to 7. So it is 6.7, 6 to 7.6. So it will cover this range 7. Bromothiamol blue. And next is the 8.3 to 10 units. pH unit is this the phenolphthalein, which is not included for this pH value. So exactly pH value which is indicated here 7 at the equivalence point, it can be covered by this bromothiamol blue indicator. So this indicator is found to be the best indicator for the titration of the strong acid and strong base. So best indicator we can select from this type of the graph. So this graph will give the overall indication how the addition of the base takes place and what are the changes in the pH during the titration reaction occurs. So this is about the strong acid and strong base. Now at the different pH values, for example at the start there is 1 pH, after some time there is 5 pH value, we can calculate the H plus ion concentration for the particular stages for this titration. So from the millimoles of the corresponding acid, H plus ions and OH minus ions, we can calculate their corresponding H plus ion concentration or the OH minus ion concentration. Here the acid concentration is more up to the end point, so we can determine the H plus ion concentration for this type of the graph. Now next type of the neutralization titration we are going to study is the titration of the weak acid with the strong base. We know that NaOH, KOH, CaOH twice, calcium hydroxide, barium hydroxide, all these are the strong bases, example of the strong bases. And the strong acids are HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, etc. These are the strong acids. So strong acid are the compounds that can be completely get ionized in the aqueous medium. And the strong bases shows the complete dissociation of their ions in the aqueous medium. So accordingly they are called as the strong acid and strong bases. But weak acids or weak bases are those compounds which dissociate partially or which cannot dissociate completely in the aqueous solution. So dissociation of their ion, it is not complete, so they act as the weak acid or weak bases. Here the example of the weak acid is the acetic acid and the strong base is the NaOH. So we can carry out the titration of acetic acid versus NaOH. So again we can consider this. We have taken the same concentration, 0.1 molar NaOH added here, and here is the pH, change in the pH. Now let us consider the titration of the strong base with the acetic acid. Now in this case we are again going to determine the concentration, exact concentration or normality of the acetic acid, and we have taken the standard solution of the NaOH. So it should be filled in the burette, and in the conical flask we have taken the acetic acid 10 ml, and slowly we are going to add the NaOH in this way. So again we can plotted this graph for this type of the titration, but now we can see here there is much difference in the curve of the graph is observed as compared to strong acid, strong base. Now in this case the pH at the start of the titration, it is nearly of value 3, and we can see here this is the value of the pH nearly start when the graph is started here, it is nearly of value 3. So from the 3 pH value the graph is started, and there is no much increase is observed in this graph. So graph is linear here, there is no change in the pH is observed in this case. So 20 up to 24.5 ml there is no much change in the pH value, it is completely linear, and after 24.5, that is 24.9 to 25.1, there is sharp change in this graph is observed. There is sharp change is observed here. Here there is sharp change is observed. Again after what happens, this during 24.9 to 25.1, this pH range, there is linear increase in the pH value is observed. So there is linear increase in the pH value. So that is nothing but the end point of the titration, it having the range 6 to 10.5. Now it is the different than the previous graph. So for this up to this value nearly 25.1, there is sharp change is observed. After 25.1 to 25.2, there is bend is observed in the graph, there is slight bend in the graph, and after that or above 25.2, what happens, there is linear, there is no, the graph it will be linear, and there is not, it is not useful practically. So practically there is no change in the pH is observed. So this part is important here, which gives the end point of the titration, and this having the pH value 6 to 10.5 units. Now in this case we can put the different types of the indicator which are similar to previous graph. So we have already taken this indicator, we know the range of this indicator. Now for this titration, the exact pH at the equivalence point, it is nearly 8.73. Now we can see here the phenolphthalein having the value pH range 8.3 to 10 pH units. So it is near to the equivalence point, exact range of the equivalence point. Bromothymol blue having the value 6 to 7.6. So it is within the pH range of the endpoint, but exact pH value it is different from this value. And methyl red having the pH range 4.2 to 6.3. So it is again different. So very small part of this pH range or transition range is included for the endpoint. And the last one, methyl orange, it is out of this curve. It shows the value of pH 3.1 to 4.1. So it is not included in this range of the pH. So in this case we can say that methyl red, bromothiamine blue and phenolphthalein, these having the pH range within the end point, within the range of the pH given for the end point. So all these three are the suitable indicator for this titration, that is methyl red, bromothiamine blue and phenolphthalein. But if we want to choose the best indicator for this titration, so exact pH value is 8.73. so this nearly, it is near to 8.73, that means it comes under this pH range, which is the pH range for the phenolphthalein. So phenolphthalein is found to be the better indicator for this titration of the strong base and weak acid. So this is about the two types of this neutralization titration. In the next lecture we will study the further two types of the neutralization reactions. Thank you.